and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. Purport: it is a qualification of the great thinkers to pick up the best even from the worst. It is said that the intelligent man should pick up nectar from a stock of poison, should accept gold even from a filthy place, should accept a good and qualified wife even from an obscure family, and should accept a good lesson even from a man or from a teacher who comes from the untouchables. These are some of the ethical instructions for everyone in every place without exception. But a saint is far above the level of an ordinary man. He is always absorbed in glorifying the Supreme Lord, because by broadcasting the holy name and fame of the Supreme Lord, the polluted atmosphere of the world will change, and as a result of propagating the transcendental literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, people will become sane in their transactions. While preparing this commentation on this particular stanza of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have a crisis before us. Our neighboring friend China has attacked the border of India with a militaristic spirit. We have practically no business in the political field. Yet we see that previously there were both China and India, and they both lived peacefully for centuries without ill feeling. The reason is that they lived those days in an atmosphere of God consciousness, and every country over the surface of the world was God-fearing, pure-hearted and simple. There was no question of political diplomacy. There is no cause of quarrel between the two countries, China and India, over land which is not very suitable for habitation. And certainly there is no cause for fighting on this issue. But due to the age of Kali, which we have discussed, there is always a chance of quarrel on slight provocation. This is due not to the issue in question, but to the polluted atmosphere of this age. Systematically, there is propaganda by a section of people to stop glorification of the name and fame of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, there is a great need for disseminating the message of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. It is the duty of every responsible Indian to broadcast the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the world, to do all the supermost good, as well as to bring about the desired peace in the world. Because India has failed in her duty by neglecting this responsible work, there is so much quarrel and trouble all over the world. We are confident that if the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam is received only by the leading men of the world, certainly there will be a change of heart, and naturally the people in general will follow them. The mass of people in general are tools in the hands of the modern politicians and leaders of the people. If there is a change of heart of the leaders only, certainly there will be a radical change in the atmosphere of the world. We know that our honest attempt to present this great literature conveying transcendental messages for reviving the God consciousness of the people in general and re-spiritualizing the world atmosphere is fraught with many difficulties. Our presenting this matter in adequate language, especially a foreign language, will certainly fail, and there will be so many literary discrepancies despite our honest attempt to present it in a proper way. But we are sure that with all our faults in this connection, the seriousness of the subject matter will be taken into consideration, and the leaders of society will still accept this due to its being an honest attempt to glorify the Almighty God. When there is fire in a house, the inmates of the house go out to get help from the neighbors who may be foreigners, and yet without knowing the language, the victims of the fire express themselves and the neighbors understand the need, even though not expressed in the same language. The same spirit of cooperation is needed to broadcast this transcendental message of the Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the polluted atmosphere of the world. After all, it is a technical science of spiritual values, and thus we are concerned with the techniques and not with the language. If the techniques of this great literature are understood by the people of this world, there will be success. When there are too many materialistic activities by the people in general all over the world, there is no wonder that a person or a nation attacks another person or nation on slight provocation. That is the rule of this age of Kali or quarrel. The atmosphere is already polluted with corruption of all description, and everyone knows it well. There are so many unwanted literatures full of materialistic ideas of sense gratification. In many countries, there are bodies appointed by the state to detect and censor obscene literature. This means that neither the government nor the responsible leaders of the public want such literature, yet it is in the marketplace because the people want it for sense gratification. The people in general want to read. That is a natural instinct. But because their minds are polluted, they want such literatures. Under the circumstances, transcendental literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam will not only diminish the activities of the corrupt mind of the people in general, but also it will supply food for their hankering after reading some interesting literature. In the beginning, they may not like it because one suffering from jaundice is reluctant to take sugar candy. But we should know that sugar candy is the only remedy for jaundice. Similarly, let there be systematic propaganda for popularizing reading of the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which will act like sugar candy for the jaundice-like condition of sense gratification. When men have a taste for this literature, the other literatures which are catering poison to society will then automatically cease. We are sure, therefore, that everyone in human society will welcome Srimad Bhagavatam, even though it is now presented with so many faults, for it is recommended by Sri Narad, who has very kindly appeared in this chapter. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhaschate Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasani Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. This verse is a follow-up to the previous verse. Narad Muni speaking to Vyasdev about literature which is having, it is full of names and glorification of the Supreme Lord and His Leela and His pastimes. So in the previous verse, they are speaking about Vayasam Tirtham, which means place of pilgrimage for crows. In other words, they are speaking here about words, literatures which do not glorify the Supreme Lord. Those literatures are for people who are like crows. Vayasam Tirtha. Tirtha is a place where people come. But Vayasam Tirtham is a place where crows go. Crows are supposed to be inferior to swans. So the place, literature which doesn't glorify the Supreme Lord attracts crow-like people. People who want to increase their sense gratification. So such literatures will attract those kind of materialistic people. On the other hand, this verse is saying that literature which is full of descriptions, can you please put off the speaker? On the other hand, literature which is full of transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation. This is something very different. We may see someone holding a book, a transcendental book on Krishna. Someone else is holding another book. They're very different. They look like books, both of them, but they're describing the potency of the second category of books. Here it's speaking about Viplav. Viplav means revolution. If you look in human history, there have been many revolutions. You may have studied about them. French Revolution, Russian Revolution, then Chinese Revolution. What is revolution? Revolution is when people come together, they want a change. And they come together to do that change forcibly. There have been many revolutions. Now what is that telling us? That people keep having revolutions because they're not happy. They think we have to change it. Okay, change it. Again it's become wrong. Again. History is full of these things. Full of so many revolutions. People are not satisfied and they're not able to find the perfect system. Now recently one of our neighbors of India had a revolution, so-called. Why does it happen, revolution? Because some idea comes. An idea goes and it comes in people's minds and they all think, yes, we should do that. Now this can be natural in the sense, naturally everyone comes, some idea comes, but in many cases, for example, the place where I was born, the continent, many times it's externally instigated. It's not that people want to, but some things were fed into their mind. Why? Propaganda. What is propaganda? Prabhupada uses this word a lot, propaganda. Propaganda means systematically disseminating information to change people's minds. It can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. In our case, it's a good thing. So systematic propagation of ideas through books, lectures, pamphlets, whatever, to change people's minds. And when their minds change sufficiently, then some action happens. So as I said, revolution can be a bad thing in one sense, or it can be a good thing. Now here it's talking about a revolution that's possible. We are talking about a revolution to end all revolutions. So many revolutions happen, but we have to stop them. One revolution, finally, that's it. In this regard, Prabhupada explains how he is in New York, actually. Long time ago I visited America once, and one thing about that which he noted also, which is true, is that you keep hearing police sirens every time. Police, ambulance, all day you hear these sounds. And you hear construction. These things are always going, there's always noise. And then dogs are barking. So Prabhupada was replicating all the sounds. He said that, beep, 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 you know, that drill, then then that sound, and this sound, and so many sound. Prabhupada said, but one day, boom, no more sounds. He's talking about the nuclear bomb. He said, one day, all the sounds will finish. Because a big sound will come that will end all the sounds. So similarly, revolution will come one day which we will not need any other revolution. Come back to the origin, center. But those were not center. They were what they thought is the center. When we come back to that center, there'll be no other problem. Why were there no revolutions before? Satya Yug, Treta, Dwapar, there was no, and most of Kali that passed. Why no revolution? Everything was okay. India was ruling the whole world. Now America tried to rule the world. Britain tried, everyone threw them out. We don't want. Then Prabhupada said, why didn't they throw out India? Why was it that from Hastinapur, Delhi, India was ruling the world? No one minded. Why? Huh? People were happy. People said it's okay, let them rule because we are getting food, we are getting everything, and we are able to practice spiritual life, everything is going okay, let them rule, it's okay. Actually, Bhaktisiddhanta, when they came to him, they said we have to throw out the British, our country. He said, no, we don't have any problem with British people. They're letting us preach, they're supporting everything. So this is on a different level. Here it's speaking about a revolution. Now, as I said, for a revolution, ideas have to disseminate. And they can be artificially, nowadays you have social media and all that, and you could put ideas, something which is not true, and then, everyone will revolt, what's that word? They will revolt. And from revolt comes revolution. They'll revolt, they'll overthrow and throw out the whole system and maybe kill many people because some idea. So here, it's speaking about a particular potency. It says here that literatures which have glorifications of the name, form, pastimes of the Supreme Lord are very powerful. Gopis have said that. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibiriditam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam. This is in Gopi Gita. Shravana mangalam Srimad. Gopis are saying, Tava Katha Amritam, the nectarian narrations of you, Krishna, Tava Katha Amritam. They cause one to be deathless, Amrit. Tava Katha Amritam, Tapta Jivanam, and they are the life of the jivas. Someone may say on the road, no, it's not my life, it's not, Krishna Katha is not my life. But that's because he doesn't understand. They are conditioned by Maya, they don't understand. Like a mad person, he can be hungry and thirsty, but he'll be shouting, and you want to give him water, he doesn't know. Actually, he needs water, he doesn't understand. So actually, they need Krishna Katha, they don't understand. Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibir Iditam. The Kavis, the learned people, they propagate it. Kavibir Iditam Kalma Shapaham. It destroys the pollution in the sense of material desires. And what comes out of material desires? Crimes, depressions, so many things. So that is also destroyed. Kalmasha, polluted heart is destroyed, full of lust, envy, greed, anger. So Kalmashapan, Shravana Mangalam, that if someone hears it, it becomes auspicious. Mangala. Shravana Mangalam, Srimad Atatam. Srimad, in this case, means imbued with spiritual potency. Narrations of Krishna are very powerful. We can't understand. Prabhupada said once that one day they'll figure out that this movement is growing by the books, the demons, asuras. So they will act to stop them. Prabhupada is predicting. He predicted many things. He said they will act to stop the books. Then he said, but it will be too late. The books would have gone out and the ideas and things will propagate. So they don't understand. Because they don't understand who is the Supreme Lord, what is his potency. Here Narad Muni is telling Vyas, Supreme Lord is powerful. His narrations are powerful. They can create a revolution because these ideas are imbued with potency, powerful potency. Elsewhere in the 4th canto, narrations of Prithu Maharaj are explained. So then Prithu Maharaj, when the 4 Kumaras appeared, he was very happy. He was glorifying them. And he explained, he was glorifying them, and he said, Sa uttama shloka mahan mukhachuto bhavat padam bhuji sutta kananilaha. He said that glorifying great personalities, that when they glorify Uttama Shloka, the Supreme Lord, when a great personality glorifies, so Uttama Shloka Mahan Mukha Chuto, then what happens? He says, so Uttama Shloka Mahan Mukha Chuto, Bhavatpadi Sudhakananila, Smritir Punar Vismritim Tattva Vartmanam. Again we remember what we forgot. We begin to remember Krishna. The narrations come in our head, that sound enters the ear. It enters just like a medicine when you inject someone. If a medicine has an active principle, that will act on the body. Anesthetic will put you to sleep. some other things will create antibodies, and if you get snake bite, they inject something that will destroy. So this chemical has a potency just by putting in the body. So here it's explained that smriti punar smritim tattva vartmana ko yoginam no vitrati alam varai, that when the sound enters the ear, it acts. We can't understand how it's acting. But as we heard from Srila Prabhupada, someone may be sitting in a Bhagavatam class, even not understanding the language, and they will get the benefit. Practically 2004 once, I went to Vrindavan first time. I was completely new, but I knew some philosophy. I had read Bhagavad Gita and some small books. So I'm looking very impressed. And that time there were few people, not like now. It was so we sat on the Parikram path, and Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, was giving a lecture. We sat. And so many Vrajvasis came and sat also. Then I thought, why are they sitting? They'll not understand anything. Then I thought, then when Maharaj speaks, they'll hear English, then they'll get up and go. But he started speaking, then they sat the whole lecture, and I was looking, why are they sitting? They can't understand anything. And some of them old people, young people, and one mother came and told her son, sit down. They're both sitting, they're not understanding. You could see, they could not understand. They were villagers, not normal villagers, exalted Brishvasis, but they'll not understand. So then I thought, okay, anyway, maybe they have nothing to do. They sit down here. Then they're sitting down. But then I heard later, Prabhupada said, Bhagavatam has potency. Even if you don't understand the language, you're sitting, you get it. Because it's a different sound. Now just imagine this is one-on-one sound, and this sound is going, propagating, going around the whole country, going around the whole world, creating energy. What will happen? Prabhupada says, Narad Muni is telling Vyas that such literatures, transcendental words, which words? Srimad Atatam. The gopis said that the narrations of Krishna, if we speak, they are I heard one word, in English a different thought. Proper word is impregnated. They are impregnated with spiritual vibration, a potency which can change the person, and this whole world can change. So Srimad Atatam, imbued with spiritual potency. So now just imagine that this is, if a person hears, what happens to him? If mass of people hear it, what will happen? Their whole consciousness will change. It says here, they are directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives. Janat Aga. Agha means sins. Janat Aga, the sinful people will transform. Practically, these are not theory. Srila Prabhupada landed in Chicago. The day he landed, the front page, crime, why and what to do. Why is there crime? What to do about it? So Prabhupada went to the chief of police of Chicago. I know how to solve your crime problem. Yes, what do you do? Just give me a hole, a big hole, fill it with people, I'll chant Hare Krishna. No, then they were wondering what kind of, he thought we'll bring some commission, planning commission, SIT, Special Investigation Task Force, and do a probe. A probe was ordered and investigate. No, Prabhupada said we'll chant the names of God. Well, I'm afraid we cannot do that. We are different religions, and we are secular. You're talking about secular. I'm talking about we want to solve your problem. I am not speaking about one sectarian God. This is non-sectarian. I'm speaking about God. Everyone worships God. I brought you the medicine. Why you're discriminating? This will solve the problem. I'm paraphrasing what is exactly he said in different terms. So this is practical. It is not theory. If we continuously propagate words of glorifying the Supreme Lord, it could be in the form of books, it could be in the form of YouTube, or it could be person to person, but everyone's heart will become clean. And when the heart is clean, no one will fight. And there's a practical example given here. Srila Prabhupada is writing this purport. He's saying, now I'm writing this purport. And what happened? That China has attacked India. And Prabhupada is saying, now just look at these two countries. They've been together for, how shall we say, Satya, Treta, Dwapara Yuga. There is no problem. Now suddenly they have a problem. And what is the problem? They're fighting over land which no one can live. in inhabitant land. He said, but why are they fighting? Prabhupada says, why? Because of the age of Kali, because people are sinful. They'll fight over small things. This is age of Kali. He gave example. This is a practical example. This is the crisis, that a country which has been at peace with India for so long is now fighting over land which no one can stay due to age of Kali. So he's talking about the polluted atmosphere of the world. It's so polluted that even a child is taking birth, he's getting affected by that. Innocent person is born, then goes to the school, goes to the college, associates with people, and he becomes anti-God and lusty, angry, jealous. Sangha is like that. Meanwhile, we can't blame people. The whole system has been set up. Everyone is just following it now. Everyone knows change, we should change. What change? They don't understand. What change shall we do? There should be a change. What is the change? Take care of the soil. Save the soil. Yeah, that will bring some change. No, that's simply changing the soil won't bring a change. And what change shall we do? We should bring vegetarianism and stop animal killing. Yes, that is good, but that is not the change. The change is that people are godless. Godless. So, now, Narad Muni is telling Vyas that there is this literature, the people are sinful, Janataga. So, Janataga Viplavo. The literature we are speaking about can create a revolution. It has potency, power. Prabhupada wrote a long purport for this. And towards the end, he's speaking about Srimad Bhagavatam. And he explained that, you see, there are too many materialistic activities going on in this world. What is the definition of a materialistic activity? What is the definition?
Activity done to satisfy one's own senses.
Yes, correct. That I'm doing this for me. Now, if I'm doing this for me, he's doing it for him, you're doing it for you, but the resources are limited, there will be a fight, isn't it? In a family, if no one is saying we should please Krishna, I'll please myself. Okay, I want to watch this channel, I want to watch that channel. They'll fight over anything small. So, there are too many materialistic activities. People are too much thinking about themselves or their country or their family. You may say, I'm thinking about my country, not me. Why your country? Why not the neighboring country? Why are you ignoring? Why are you discriminating? I'm working hard to feed my family. And what about that family? Why aren't you feeding that family? So, they should serve God. And if you are serving God, then there will be harmony. No one has that idea. Now, Prabhupada is saying, when there are too many materialistic activities, there is no wonder that a person or a nation attacks another on a small matter. I want all resources for me, he wants for him. So we'll fight, definitely. So the polluted age of this age has so many literatures. Now, wherever it says literatures, we can substitute for YouTube also. There are a lot of videos on materialistic things. There are lots of books on materialistic things. And it says here, the government appoints people to censor obscene literature. Not anymore, they're not. Our government of India tried to censor. People said no. They went to court. They went to court. Why you want to ban pornography? In 2014, I remember. So Prabhupada's writing, government appoints people to censor. Now there is no censor. So why, now Prabhupada's making the point here. Why is there obscene literature? And we'll also say, why are there obscene videos? Because people want them, isn't it? Because whatever people want, that we'll supply. So Prabhupada said, because people want it. So how do you stop them wanting it? How? You cannot, it's hard. But how? He's saying here, that transcendental literature like Srimad Bhagavatam will not only diminish the activities of corrupt mind of people, because Shrindvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. When we speak about Krishna, effect is love of God. But even if we don't get bhakti, what happens? We become pious. If we listen without falling asleep, we become pious. So many times I experienced, I'm visiting a temple and I meet someone, I go for Sunday program. So you're coming? Yes. Are you chanting? No. Are you reading? No. Are you coming regularly? Yes. But I stopped taking meat. But I stopped smoking. Because it has a pious effect. Okay, we don't want to make people pious, we want to make them devotees. But punya shravana kirtane, even just by hearing, you can become pious. So Prabhupada explains here that literature like Srimad Bhagavatam will not only diminish activities of corrupt mind of people in general, but it will supply food of hankering, the reading material. Actually, people are inclined to read. How is it so many newspapers are being sold? Magazines, books. People are inclined to read, people are inclined to hear something. So, if we start to supply concentrated information about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it can diminish people's hankering. Yesterday I spoke to one person who comes for programs here. And I asked this person, what made you come here? And the person explained, actually I come to this cafe. I come there, I don't come here. 2 weeks ago, I heard that kirtan, I liked it, so I came in here, now I'm coming here. Now, she's not going there. Actually, that was the plan why they built this temple. They said, the cafe is there, temple is here, they'll come, but now it's not working exactly. But we've seen it worked in one case, that now every Saturday she's not coming there, she's coming here actually. We have other programs she could go to, but anyway. So, we are seeing practically this is possible. Someone will hear a kirtan, a harinam, or read a book and they'll come. It's a higher taste. But now one other aspect about this verse. Here they're speaking about, on the other hand, literatures which are full of descriptions can bring about a revolution. Now when did that happen? That never happened. Now we are reading. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, which was compiled by Vyas. Narad Muni speaking to Vyas, write Srimad Bhagavatam. Write it. Why? It can create a revolution in impious lives. What happened after that? Vyas wrote everything, passed the knowledge, but it was not propagated widely, was it? It wasn't. Instead, Vyas, he propagated the Shruti, 4 Vedas, he made paramparas, appointed one person. Then the parampara started for Rig Veda. Now you get the Dvivedi, Chaturvedis, Trivedis. You get who can chant the verses, and through whom the Vedas are propagated. Rig Vedi, we see them. They are still there. It's the effect of Kali, they are not the same like before. It didn't really happen that what Narad Muni is saying, that there'll be a revolution, you can create a revolution. No revolution happened. The Vedas were passed down, gradually Kali came, it became covered. That is one thing. Srimad Bhagavatam, it didn't really go widely. It was just spoken by Sutta Goswami. Then there is a parampara, which if you go to Naimisharanya, they are there. They come in the line of Shuka. I met one of them here in Bangalore. Once we were doing book distribution, and they had a tilak like ours, but little different, but Chandan. So then I was inquiring, this is a Vaishnav tilak? I've never seen this. I thought this is some Upper Sampradaya. And he started to explain, and this Bhagavad Parampara. What Parampara is this? I said that, are you one of the 4 Vaishnav Sampradayas? Then he understood what I'm saying. He said, no, Prabhu, we have a Sampradaya, it's bona fide, but now it's faded away. He said, this is coming in the line of Sutta Goswami. It's in Naimisharanya. They have Chandan Tilaks, little different than this. So I understood, okay, this parampara is there. But the revolution didn't happen, no. It's speaking about revolution. When will it happen? You see, Narad Muni is a pure devotee. He'll not say something extra, not meant for that. So that means revolution is going to come. It will happen. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, similar thing. It's written here that Lord Nityananda started a kirtan which flooded the whole universe. And Prabhupada explained in the purport. Actually, that kirtan didn't flood the universe, it flooded Bengal, or not even Bengal. So why is this verse saying that? Prabhupada said, because it will flood the universe. His kirtan, which he started, this movement will flood the whole universe. And he started it. So it wasn't at that time. So similarly here, it's talking about a revolution. Revolution will happen. How? It says through Bhagavatam. Through Srimad Bhagavatam. So now, this verse is speaking about ISKCON. This verse is speaking about Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, he is the first personality to write a commentary on Bhagavatam and spread it all over the world. And not only he did that, he could have done it, he didn't do it fully, but he told us to do it. Because whoever does it will be liberated. And he said, print as many books in as many languages and spread them over the whole world, and this Krishna consciousness movement will automatically increase. This is a quote by Srila Prabhupada. That means Narad Muni is seeing ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada, and how Bhagavatam will be written by Srila Prabhupada, commented, published in so many languages. It's going in countries, people don't understand who's Krishna. They may think he's a man, he's an animal. What is Krishna? What is Krishna? Not what, who, it's a person. Really? What person? Supreme person. Take the book. Okay. I don't understand anything. But this book is being distributed in places you will not understand. You cannot imagine. Books are being distributed. People are reading and becoming devotees. It seems normal to us now. We go to Mayapur, Vrindavan, we see someone from this or that country taking up Krishna consciousness. Yeah, it's normal. It's not normal. It's not possible for somebody to give up meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex and gambling. Just like that. When he's been doing that the whole life. It's not normal. This cannot happen. But the potency of these books, it's happening. Now they're speaking about a revolution. It will permeate and enter. Now here it's saying that it's speaking about leaders of society. It says that, here. So translate literatures, karma in general, because one's suffering, only remedy jaundice, let it be sister. Yeah, somewhere here it says that if the leaders of the people take it, then it can create a change. And it can change the whole polluted atmosphere in the world. Here it is. See, in one way we are propagating this among the public, but in another way, the leaders, we have to propagate. It says a mass of people are tools in the hands of modern politicians. They'll say anything. You know, in a country they can say, ISKCON is the problem, we have to ban ISKCON. The leaders are saying, people say, yeah, it's the problem. The people don't have sense. You know, and Prabhupada especially said in one lecture, when we eat meat, we can never understand higher principles of religion. Not only religion, but even science, math, you can't. We understand Einstein, Newton were vegetarians. This is not any devotee. You check internet, they'll tell you. For that matter, Hitler was a vegetarian. But the point is that higher faculties of intelligence and reason and logic cannot be accessed. So now people generally, because of sinful atmosphere, they cannot understand what is the proper path. So they are tools in the hands of leaders. Certainly there will be a radical change in the atmosphere of the world. Yeah, if the leaders take it, Prabhupada said, even if few leaders take it, they'll change. Because they'll manipulate the people, but in a nice way. Dictatorship is not good, but Prabhupada explained, what is the best thing? What is the best form of government? Benevolent dictatorship. Not that, okay, let's decide, let's vote. No, you don't. People don't know what they want. A person who is God conscious knows he should by force control people and tell, by force do your dharma, by force no meat eating, no intoxication, etc. So now, this is speaking about Prabhupada. It's not my speculation. I've heard senior devotees say that this verse is predicting the time when Bhagavatam will be distributed en masse, which is happening now. And this will solve the problem. In one quote, Prabhupada said, the solution to world peace is set distribution of Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is explained here. Srila Prabhupada, he started this revolution, and he keeps saying that we should distribute books. He emphasized this as most important activity. I remember one quote, many quotes of his are there, but one particular quote which was told to me by a senior devotee, a book distributor. That time we were distributing books in one corner of Chennai. It was 2006, December, in Chennai. We went, I think, Poonamali or somewhere, and you know now how it looks. It was different before. So I took so much chaos and people. Then I told him, why are we distributing books here? Why don't we go to some good area? He said, of course, I don't have anything against Chennai. I'm just telling you. And he said that, he quoted a Prabhupada's quote. He said, Prabhupada said, in any place, if you simply continue distributing books again and again and again, it will become God conscious. He told me, if we do this for 20 years, you'll see a Govindas and a temple and everyone will be chanting. Even if no one comes to preach, open a preaching center. Of course, if you do that, it will be faster. But the subtle effect is so powerful. If I put a book in the house, Bhagavatam, the subtle effect is purifying. So in this way, one of Prabhupada's disciples was giving a class in Rameshwaram Prabhu, in Mayapur. I was sitting there. He said that Prabhupada said, if we distribute books continuously, what happens? He said that the atmosphere will become spiritual in the world, such that even the children taking birth will naturally be spiritual, and naturally this effect of the subtle effect, it will have a powerful effect, make people pious. Now when that change comes to everyone at once, then they will clamor, we must have a Krishna conscious government. He's standing for government. Who? This person. Do you eat meat? Do you take intoxication, illicit sex, gambling? Yes. You cannot be in government. Oh no, okay, good, vote for him. So this effect will come, and this day will come. So what is our role? Our role is spread the knowledge. It can create a revolution. This verse is saying, Narad Muni is a pure devotee. He is saying that simply by disseminating Leela, Guna, Rupa, Nam of Krishna, revolution can come. Now we are speaking about books, but of course videos, lectures. So we have to have faith in these words. It will come, but not that it will come, let me sit and watch it. No, we have to do it. That's the point. We have to, this is possible, we have to do that. And we may have so many plans in our life, but if we do this, it will be the greatest service to humanity. Hare Krishna. Any question? Yes.
So Prabhupada is stating there are so many faults while presenting.
Yes, yes. Oh, that's another big point here. Okay, so look, Prabhupada, some words here which are not, they don't come in English. For example, in one place Prabhupada says, this Bhagavatam is all blissful, all perfect, all knowing. This is not English actually. All blissful is not English. But he's taking from Sanskrit, sarvagya, sarva, every, So that's not really proper English. Also, if you see hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures, it's not proper grammatical English, even the books, but now books have been edited to, sound proper English. So Prabhupada is saying, that verse is saying that Yasmin pratishloke abadhavati api, that even these literatures are powerful, even if you think that there's some grammatical mistake. Why is it like this? Someone may criticize, why is this coming like, or some Sanskrit grammar is not proper in the verse, or in the translation. Look, he translated it to Chinese, but this is not here. This is, what kind of holy book is this? It will not have effect. No, it's saying here, abadhavati api, even if there's some imperfection in the language, but in the end, the last sentence of the purport, Prabhupada is saying the technique has to be understood. The language may be faulty, but you understand this is the technique. Technique is chant names of God, worship the deity, offer everything to God. They took the technique, what is the method. So that's perfect. Even if some mistake, the potency is not less. It says that Namani Anantasya Yasho Ankitanyat, that the people who are sincerely looking for God, it says Shrinvanti Gayanti Grihnanti Sadavaha, they will hear it. Shrinvanti, they will glorify it. Shrinvanti Gayanti Grihnanti, they will fully accept and practice it. Those who are sincere, they will not see any fault just because of the language. So in that way the potency is not diminished. We don't have to worry that look, Prabhupada didn't say proper English, or he said properly but this person translated it to Tamil, it was something wrong. And of course the technique should be, Mayavad shouldn't come in, it should be properly communicated. That's the...
In the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning that this Bhagavatam must be presented to leaders as well.
Yeah.
Since leaders are, people want such gratification, they choose such leaders. Who
Yes,
gratify their
correct,
senses.
yeah.
So if the leaders are changing, then people how will they change?
No, it's not that leader, it's everyone. Mass distribution is happening. At the same time, we should target leaders. It's both of them. Both are there. Just think about it. People change and then the leader refuses. No, we're not going to ban. Why? Ban meat eating. We don't want to ban it. People are, But now you're preaching to leaders. Leaders say, yeah, this is good, yes. But the people won't want it. Now people also want it. So both have to happen. We go to colleges because we see leaders of society will be there. Not that they're so intelligent and nonsense. Education is making people into donkeys. But intelligent people will go there. So when they go there, we preach. So they end up coming in some power, but they're already infected with the virus of our Krishna consciousness. So the answer is that it's not only leaders, but leaders and the mass of people have to be changed. Both. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.